Day number 3 of Saints training camp is complete. I am Todd Graffagnini. This is Erin Summers. It is the Saints training camp report right here on your view. Of course, we're in the friendly confines of the indoor facility at the Ochsner Sports Performance Center, but rest assured the team was outside in the heat, in the humidity. But even more importantly today, Erin, the fans of the New Orleans Saints were able to see their favorite team for the first time.
It's always so fun when the fans come out. You hear them yelling all of the players' names. I heard Alvin Kamara a lot, and he definitely gave them some love. You saw them signing autographs after practice today. Adds a little bit of juice to practice. Here's head coach Dennis Allen.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the fans are a big part of what we do. We're in a tough business, but we're also in the entertainment business a little bit, and we want to put on a good show for our fans. I think we got the best fans in the NFL, and I think we got a unique bond with our city and our fans, and we love having them out here.
Yeah, always great to have the fans back. But Erin, let's get into the business of the practice. First of all, participation. A little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news. The good news, we saw Trevor Penning back on the practice field today participating after he was out yesterday with a foot injury, but he was back. So that was very, very good. We also saw Cesar Ruiz and Ryan Ramczyk not out there today. Those were scheduled vet days, but we also had some bad news on the injury front.
During practice, guard Trey Turner was carted off the field.
Injured his knee in practice. We're in the process of determining exactly what that is, but that was really the only injury of note to talk about.
All right, as far as the practice goes, Erin, I thought today we saw the most balanced practice of the first 3 here at training camp. Saw some really nice plays from the offense. Specifically, it was Alvin Kamara getting a little high dump off from Derek Carr, taking it 62 yards to the house. It's always, yes, great to see Alvin Kamara out in space. We also saw third-string quarterback Jake Haener absolutely laser beam one to Lynn Bowden Jr. for a very long touchdown down the left side. Haener has been very impressive with his arm strength, and that's going to be something we're going to watch throughout the rest of camp.
I think it was the best day for Jake Haener today. A lot of media around me were talking about, man, he's really standing out. And then there were some really good plays made by Chris Olave, especially one where he was really battling with Alontae Taylor down the line, caught a pass in a very tight window between his body and the line from Jameis Winston. You got to give credit to Winston because he really placed that ball well. And then we finally had our first interception of training camp. It was DeMarco Jackson. He intercepted Jameis Winston a little bit later near the end of practice. So hat tip to DeMarco Jackson. He's making a name for himself in that linebacker battle.
Yeah, and as we've been talking about, the turnovers have been a point of emphasis during training camp. And again, we saw the first interception today during camp.
So competitive, and I think the offense really stepped up in today's practice. It's something that head coach Dennis Allen really likes about training camp.
There's a lot of that going on at a lot of different positions, so it's not unique to one specific position. I told the guys when we started training camp that this roster was built to create as much competition as we possibly can, and that there's really not any spots that are already predetermined. We're going to let the competition play out, and those guys, by the way that they perform and by the way that they execute on a day in and day out basis, they determine, who plays and who doesn't. And I think that's, the way you're going to be able to put the best team on the field.
You mentioned in our first show a couple days ago about the defensive line and that being a position to watch. And I think we've seen in the first few practices that it is going to be hopefully a position of strength, as we have seen a lot of pressure from those guys up the middle.
Especially defensive end Peyton Turner. I think every single day this week, we've all said, that was Turner right there on that stop. So he's being very effective in his reps so far through training camp, and something that he knows he has to do more consistently.
Yeah, first thing is being on the field, right? So that's something I struggled with. But like I said, I think I've done a lot this past offseason, just seeing specialists, seeing doctors, seeing body work people, whatever it may be, chiros, like body doctors, whatever it may be, just to put myself in the best position. So first is being available, and then secondly is going out there and just being productive.
I don't know if we can go a show without talking about Taysom Hill. We talked about him yesterday on this show about what he does, and that's pretty much everything on the offensive end. But we saw him at this practice, an old familiar position, quarterback.
Getting his first quarterback reps here in training camp. He was splitting time with Jay Kaner, third team reps during 7-on-7s, and then a little bit later in practice, he was taking second team reps during team drills 11-on-11. It's something that head coach Dennis Allen said is in the plan.
It's a planned deal in advance, you know, as to when he's going to take some quarterback reps, tight end reps, running back reps, whatever the case may be, when he's going to line up and, you know, run some of the quarterback-driven run game. That's all stuff that we, you know, plan really back there in the spring. But we're always evaluating. You know, we're always looking to see, look, what do we need more work at? And so we'll continue to do that throughout training camp.
Well, speaking of tight ends, of course, that's what Taysom Hill is listed. But, Erin, if you go back 10 years, I don't think you've had this deep of a tight end room on a Saints roster. It is going to be a position of strength, no doubt about it. And any quarterback, whoever it might be during this camp, is going to be very happy to be throwing to these guys.
Lots of options for probably quarterback Derek Carr, and one of those is going to be tight end Juwan Johnson. He's somebody who had a breakout season last year, and he's, you know, addressing his tight end room and some of the depth there in a unique fashion.
The way how I seen it with Jimmy is like we're like the Ninja Turtles. He's like Master Splinter, like he's like the OG of OGs of tight ends. And so like we're all in there like being a guy, and I think he's been so helpful for us. You know, us having an older guy like that, him being so decorated as not only here but just in the NFL, being at other teams like Seattle, the Packers, and even the Bears. It's so good for a guy like that to be in here just to lead us, tell us about, you know, just game, and it's been real helpful for us.
As far as Saturday, tomorrow we'll be back outside in the heat and the humidity, and the fans will be
with the fans
out.
again.
Yep, the fans will be out there as well. That's Erin Summers. I'm Todd Graffagnini. We'll see you tomorrow.